into the garden, couldn't help from laughing, all naked in the pool. The fortune tellers all forgot our names. We can see it all out here in this blue. Baby, I will do this in your orbit, feet off the ground. Yeah, baby, I will do this in your orbit, your orbit. Baby, keep me magic, baby, give me magic. Baby, we could fly high, baby, we could fly high. Baby, give me magic, baby, give me, baby, we could fly high. Baby, give me magic, baby, we could go there. Baby, we could fly high, baby, we could fly high. Baby, give me magic, baby, give me, baby, we could fly high. Losing all the quarter, take you to the corner, running like we're famous, lost but still inside. My heart is dancing like a wild machine. All that even matters is how close we sleep tonight. Baby, I will do this in your orbit, feet off the ground. Yeah, baby, I will do this in your orbit, your orbit. Baby, give me magic, baby, give me magic. Baby, we could fly high, baby, we could fly high. Baby, give me magic, baby, give me, baby, we could fly high. Baby, give me magic, baby, we could go there. Baby, we could fly high, baby, we could fly high. Baby, give me magic, baby, give me, baby, we could fly high, we could fly high. We got lost in California, almost crashed into the garden, couldn't help from laughing, all naked in the pool. The fortune tellers all forgot our names. We can see it all out here in this blue. Baby, I will do this in your orbit, feet off the ground. Yeah, baby, I will do this in your orbit, your orbit. Baby, give me magic, baby, give me magic. Baby, we could fly high, baby, we could fly high. Baby, give me magic, baby, give me, baby, we could fly high. Baby, give me magic, baby, we could go there. Baby, we could fly high, baby, we could fly high. Baby, give me magic, baby, give me, baby, we could fly high. Losing all the quarter, take you to the corner, running like we're famous, lost but still inside. My heart is dancing like a wild machine. Baby, can you?
I bet you guys can hear me now. There's always just one thing that happens. Sorry, guys. Hello. How's everyone doing? I was just saying what up to Max Wild, our fearless leader. I was just down at 343 Labs in NYC on Thursday, doing the Ableton user group, and it was so awesome. The space is sick. The new space. Congrats. But Max, I wanted to go drinking with you afterwards, and you weren't there. Simple Sam, you're preparing some food. You're going to be on and off. What are you preparing? What are you having? What's up? Powell K2, how are you? Thanks for being here. I thank you everyone for telling me there was no sound. Well, we have sound now, and we have super fun lesson, not even a lesson, a collaborative music making experience today. But before I get in, this is 343 TV. We've got lessons in New York at the super cool place I was telling you about, in Berlin, in person, and then also online. And we're doing a giveaway today of a pro class, a master class, which is awesome. So definitely throw your what is it? Hat in the ring. I was going to say ring in the hat, but that's not right. Oh, Max. It was so fun. And Min and Titmouse were awesome. It was a good vibe. Max, come back so we can go day drinking. What are you doing with your life if you're not day drinking with me? All right. Diving into the music. So, I wanted to talk about some creative ways to use simpler and sampler today. Do we have any folks who already use a lot of use those things? Use simpler, use sampler? Anyone do like field recordings or anything like that? The kind of music I personally make, I really like to do a nice blend of live instruments and sampled instruments. And I've been having a lot of fun doing some new techniques recently. So let me show you like several things that I think you could put in a song today and it would sound dope. So let's just start without even using any devices. I just dragged this sample into Sorry. Now I'm back. Yeah, let me take the loop off of it too. Oh. I didn't take the loop off. Here we go. Okay, so that's just something I grabbed off of Splice that I thought was kind of cool. And then I am going to hit Shift-Tab. And I dragged an auto filter onto the track because I want to do some automation on the in the clip envelope. And so an auto filter, if you're not familiar, it's a low pass filter, and it's just a very handy way to throw some like dramatic EQ automation on. So I'm gonna click the parameter that I want to automate, which is, in this case, my filter. And then if I go Shift-Tab, oh, Max, my Ableton audio is hot, coming in hot. Thank you for letting me know. Let's just pull some stuff down. Okay, so now I go here and, oh, hang on. Since I pulled that down, it went off. But okay, I'm going to shift tab again. And now down here, I have auto filter and frequency already selected, which is very handy. So here's my automation line. Automation just allows us to change something within the clip. Basically any parameter we want. Here is a handy tip. If you use the pencil tool, which you can get into from clicking B, it's going to snap to the grid. So all I had to do is click and drag down. And I'm going to do that on every other one like this. Kind of looks like a scary monster's teeth. And let's see how we're liking that. Okay, kind of cool. Why don't we ramp up to it? So I'm going to get out of my pencil tool and I'm going to drag. I don't want to start all the way at the bottom because then we won't have any sound at all. So I'm going to kind of drag it up here just a little bit. Okay. Okay, so I'm kind of digging that. Although I want to make these into ramps instead of being so binary like this. So if I just click on this dot right here, it's going to turn into a ramp. It's like magic. So now I got some nice ramps. Let's check it out again. And then lastly, I want to just loop. I want to loop this section where it's ramping and not, I don't want to keep repeating the kind of fade in. So I'm going to put my loop on here and let's check it out. So we just did that in less than 5 minutes, and that would be kind of a cool thing to play around with. You could even print it to a new track and just put it in a drum rack. But you can always remember you can just drag something onto an audio track and just mess around in the filter section. All right, so now we're going to get even crazier. But how are we doing, folks? Peeps, my peeps. Check in the chat. Oh, Max, thank you for complimenting my automation. I wake up every morning saying, I hope today I can impress Max with some sick filter automation. And if I can only do that, it'll be a good Monday. They have a lot of cool, I think this is, Max, you can correct me if I'm wrong. This is a Live 11 thing where you can just select and insert a shape, which is very handy. Yes, horror automation, perfect for Halloween. Powell K2. I think we need to do a very next week. We have to do a spooky Halloween song. Let's do it. Email me if you have some spooky samples. Hit us up at 343. I'll put them in the track. So yeah, there's all sorts of easy access to different shapes. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to actually get on to a new track. And this is something that I've been having a lot of fun with recently, is using a simpler with an arpeggiator. Let's actually flip over into arrangement view. So if I just use a arpeggiator on a piano sound, let's see. Let's play this. Oh, sorry guys, something got messed up. Let's fix it. Hang on, let's see if this other one is working. Okay, here we go. So this is kind of how we typically think of arpeggiators. Martin King, hi from London. How are you? Do you know, Martin King, I was born in London. And I have an English passport, and my favorite candy is Jelly Babies, wine gums, chocolate buttons, and fruit pastilles. Martin, can you send me some of those? So, as you guys probably know, there's lots of different styles we can use with the arpeggiator. Like up and down, just down. Up. Okay, so that's kind of how we typically think of it. But what if we do it with a sound that's not a scale? So if I go up here, I'm going to drag this arpeggiator up. All right, so this is a horn sample I found on Splice. Oh my God, Earl Grey for sure. I also love London Fogs, but my husband now, it's so crazy to say husband. I just got married a little over 2 weeks ago, and our wedding was postponed from the pandemic. So we've been like trying to get married for 2 years. And now I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy to say husband. But he's English, and he makes fun of me for liking London Fogs. And he says that's like a lame American thing. So can any English people verify, am I lame for liking London Fogs? Oh my God, Cadbury's and Smarties. Yes. Don't get me started. Okay, back to the task at hand. Okay, so we got this. I'm going to play one more time. Oh, thanks, William Mind Readers. All right, so this is my simpler in classic mode, so I can hold it down. And simpler is super awesome if you don't use it yet, because you can just drag in any audio sample and then play it in different keys, and it will work. For lack of a fancier way to say that. Oh, thank you, Max. Thank you, Powell K2. You guys are so sweet. All right, but what I think is more interesting is to go down into slice mode, and this is going to put it on all different, chop it on different keys. I can slice by transient. I could slice by beat. I think for this, it's more interesting to slice by transient. And here, I can adjust the sensitivity. So I'm going to make it so there's not a crazy amount, but enough to kind of make it interesting. All right. So now if I turn on, and I also, of course, I can never let anything go without getting a good old decapitator on it. Here it is without the decapitator. And here it is with. So cool. I was also messing around a little bit with Crystallizer. I put an auto filter on too, just so it was a little more of like a muted sound. So without further ado, here is the Arpeggiator. I have it set to 16th notes. Uh-oh. So, okay, if anyone ever has this problem, if your MIDI notes are at all on the left of the starting of your clip, it's not going to work. So you have to drag them. Okay. Let's try now. Okay, so that's kind of cool, but it's not, I only have 3 notes here, so I could actually go in and fold will make it so that I can see all the keys. So if you only want to see the notes you've placed MIDI notes on, press fold. And if you want to go in and insert more notes, then press fold again. And I'm going to just fill this all up. I can actually do a little copy paste action. And this might sound kind of crazy, but it also might sound super cool. You don't know until you take the risk. All right, let's see. Okay, so cool. What happened was I need to put them an octave higher because they're not actually registering. So I'm going to select these and I'm going to do control, oh, whoa, not that. Shift arrow. There we go. And then I can, while I'm looping it, I can mess with the sensitivity and with the style of the arpeggiator. Let's try up and down. So it looks like, let's see. I want to get down to a C. I kind of overshot a little bit here. So I'm going to do this. Cool. All right, so that is really fun. Let's try it with, let's just pop in a different sample that's totally different and see what we can do with this arpeggiator. Does anyone have a favorite sample they would like me to use? Ooh, half speed, Martin. I like your style. All right, let's drag this water world in. I feel like this is going to be kind of cool. And slice mode. I'll turn off the decapitator. Kind of into it. Yeah. So then what I could do, so let's just say I like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click. I'm going to free. I'm going to freeze the track. And then I'm going to flatten the track. And let's listen. So this is a really handy way. If you just have one piece of MIDI that you want to turn into audio, you don't have to record it into a new audio track, though you could. You can just freeze it. Freezing it creates a new audio file. So if you want to send your session, if you have a bunch of fancy plugins, if you're like Max Wild and you have like every fancy plugin in the world, then you might want to freeze your tracks before sending them to someone. And then they won't be able to adjust the plugins, but they'll be able to hear what you did, because it creates a temporary audio track. If you're just like down with what you did and you want to start manipulating audio, then you can flatten it and it will turn into an audio track. Ooh, a hydrophone. I don't actually even know what a hydrophone is. It sounds like it's something that records underwater, though. Hydrophone. Okay, so what happened when I flattened it was it got rid of all my plugins, which is also nice because that's really good for CPU. And now I've got this audio track. So now I can keep the craziness going. Can adjust the pitch. Let's just and then yeah, I could slow it down. Or go the other way. I actually think this could make a cool riser. What do you guys think we should do to it? I'm thinking we could put some filter automation on it. William Mind Readers, that sounds like what a hydrophone should do. It should record noise underwater. There were these people that recorded dolphins for like 5 years underwater, and they discovered that dolphins actually have names, and like they call each other by a name. So they had this amazing like device that would come under the water with them, and they somehow captured the dolphins saying their names, and then they would play it, and like the dolphin would like look at them. It was insane. And then the dolphins were obsessed with playing with ribbons, and they could have like a 3-word conversation about like how, not ribbons, scarves, like how cool scarves are. So go dolphins. All right, back to this. So this is our water sample that we sliced up. Then we put an arpeggiator on it. Then we froze it. Then we flattened it. Okay, so let's just take a little part of it. Maybe the very beginning. Kind of digging that. Let's Command E and get it all by its lonesome. And let's go into our clip envelope and find something. Let's put I don't have an auto filter on because I flattened it. Let's grab an auto filter. And I'm going to click here on frequency because that's what I'm going to automate. And then I'm going to shift tab to get back to the automation window. You can also check it out here. Okay, so kind of cool. Yeah, way to go, dolphins. All right, I'm just checking the comments. We're all dolphin fans here. All right, so let's move on to something else that's cool that you can do. Let's take this. This is just a preset. This 80s beat 90 BPM that you can look up. And all right, I'm going to go back to over here. So what if I decide that, let me see. Oh, hang on. Let me copy it over. Okay, so I find this fill, and I really like the sounds, which I actually do really like the sounds. And I want to use this as a drum kit. Well, you could go in and just like individually slice every little piece of audio, like Command E, but that's pretty time consuming. A cool thing you can do is right click and then slice to new MIDI track. And here we have some different options. We can create one slice per transient, one slice per warp marker. My warp markers are down here, or different note durations. So I'm going to do transient. And because I want to get each individual drum hit, I'm going to push OK. And this is why we love Ableton. We have a drum rack. So it gave me a whole bunch of slices. And if I click on the clip, it's going to give me exactly what the drum beat was. So let's play it. So let's try it like this. It has given me, it's sliced a lot. So what I might do is go back and like delete some of those warp markers. But what I have been getting into doing a lot recently is taking this, and now that it's given me the MIDI, just starting to change things, especially messing with rhythms. So for instance, so let's go back. I'm into this, but there's so many transients that it's kind of not the best because there's a lot to look at. So let's go back to the clip. And I'm just going to take a tiny bit of it because a lot of these transients repeat. Maybe even just to there. Okay. Okay. Cool. So let's do the same thing again. And let's also just check out the warp markers. So if I see like a warp marker here, I don't really need that because I don't need this. I want just the beginning of the transient. But these are all looking good. And yeah, okay, let's try it now. Slice to new MIDI track. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Simple Sam, how was your food? What'd you have? All right, so this is like a little bit more manageable. All right, so let's now loop this. And I can kind of look around and find my, I think the hi-hats are a nice thing to mess with. So that's something where if you find a sample that you like, but you really want to kind of make it your own, and not use the exact same drum beat, or you want to simply just put it in a drum rack so you can make a beat and develop a beat, that is a cool thing to do. So let me go over here. This was, I did the freeze and flatten the track and printed it to MIDI. And then, or not to MIDI, to audio. And then I really stretched it. So let's check out this. Here's this one again. So you can always get something happening in MIDI, then print it to audio and just like totally go nuts. The snare is kind of 80s. Simple Sam burritos, but too hungry to put them in the oven, so now making one at a time. I very much respect that. How are you making them though? Are you putting them in the microwave? Burritos are a fantastic snack. Okay, let's do something else. Okay, so another fun thing, I'm going to actually go over here, is to just record your life. And I actually did this with some students last week, and I brought like, okay, let me think what I brought to the class. I brought whipped cream, like a whipped cream can, Pringles, like an apple juice can where it pops. I brought like a Diet Coke to go a lighter. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for that. And then just like keys and things. And we used a shotgun mic, which is great for field recordings, to record a bunch of these sounds. So let's check them out. All right. Okay, so this was whipped cream being sprayed, which I think is a super cool sound. This was Pringles being jingled. Another little jingle there. That's popping the Pringles can and everyone laughing. I think that's a tissue coming out of the box. This is chips, like a chip bag being ruffled.
Yay!
I think more chips. Everyone was hungry. Okay, so you get the point. Then what we did was to splice to MIDI and make a beat. So let's check it out. Okay, so you get the point. I think I like this beginning part the most. So let's grab it and quantize it a little bit at least. Do like 88%. Something about drums that I would encourage everyone to hold with them is that you only need to get like 2 bars that you really like, and then you can develop that. You don't have to play the whole thing in perfectly. That beat is crisp. Very good. Simple Sam. Simple Sam, we missed you while you were gone. So you can, and that you don't have to start on beat 1. You could start in the middle of the bar. Just find a little bit that you think is cool, and go with that. So I'm gonna take the first 2 bars. Actually, I'm gonna just do this. I think this is the best bar. Okay, actually, I kind of missed the other bar. It was like a whole phrase with it. Okay, we'll use that. Okay, I'm going to consolidate this back together. Command J. Now I'm going to freeze and flatten. Waiting for the track to freeze. Okay, and now I'm going to flatten. All right, so now I have this piece of audio. Okay, let me show you another cool thing. I'm going to duplicate this. So beat 1, beat 1 version 2, and I'm going to use repitch on this one. And I'm going to pull my BPM, and I'm going to watch it line up on the grid. This is on repitch. Then I'm going to go to this one, and I'm going to use beats. let's go back to, okay, I almost liked that, but it was out of time because I messed up the warping. Okay, let's try that again. So, repitch. Okay, so this is now beat 2. Okay, so what we basically did is we processed the audio in 2 different ways. So in this one, we used repitch, which is going to repitch it. And then the beats is going to preserve some of this cool, like, noisiness. So listen to them separately. It's like a nice little harmony. Okay, so now I'm going to put them together. Beat. We'll get rid of all this stuff. William Mind Readers, you are right. Ableton is just the best in a lot of ways. I feel like I talk about Ableton like some, I don't know, like long lost lover at all times. Just constantly impressed. Okay, I'm going to put a high pass because there's so much noise in this recording. Oh. We're going to make it very lo-fi. All right, let's grab a compressor while we're at it. All right, and then let's do a little automation. So we've used auto filter a lot. Let's grab something from, let's grab Echo Boy. Unless you guys have any other things you want me to do. Hey, mod scientists watching on Twitch in Rockaway Parkway and Future Man giving us some cool cats. And William, you like a ping pong. Wait, I see a ping pong pro training against a ball throwing machine. Sorry, that's my visual imagination. Well, we could do a ping pong delay. Let's check it out. Cool. I like that idea. And then let's not have it on all the time. So Echo Boy, let's just turn it on and off. So device on, device off. And let's start with it off. So using the pencil tool again, that's going to let me have it on the grid. So how pull it over so like the last beat. Let's see how that sounds. You know what's bothering me is that this, like, there needs to be another hit. Ah, no. Dum bum. It should come here. Let's just take this. I think this would be better. Okay. We're So close. Okay, and so I'm liking that. And let's try a little phase as well. Just go crazy. Okay, and I'll make it so this is kind of on it, but it's like ramping up and ramping down. So since it's a third-party plugin, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna automate my dry wet. And now I can see since I clicked on it, it's showing up here. And I'm just gonna go. See how this goes. And I'm gonna start it. I think I want to start it on this beat. Bum 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 bum. Actually, I'm gonna drag this loop here. See how this goes. Almost. Okay, so I forgot how we even started this. What were we doing? It was the water sample. We have gone down the rabbit hole with this. But yeah, that's another really fun way to manipulate things is use different processing techniques. So, okay, just to review what we did. We took a water sample. We spliced it to MIDI. We put an arpeggiator on it. We froze it. We flattened it. Then we slowed it down. And we processed one audio clip with repitch and one with beats. Then we automated ping pong, delay, and phase. Whew! All right, cool. How's everyone doing? Are we good? Are we having Powell K2, you rule. Are we having coffee? Are we having beer? Are we still eating burritos? Man, I want a burrito now, Simple Sam. Sounds good. Maybe I'm going to try to find one for lunch. Okay, let me show you one more thing in Sampler. Okay. So, Sampler is like Simpler's big brother. And there's a ton to explore within Sampler, but what I want to look at right now is the Zones tab. So this makes it so that you can have multiple samples playing within one instrument, which is really cool. I'm going to get off these. And it also allows you to control where the range is. So what you do if you want to bring something in is I'll just go to my current project, my samples, imported. Let's say I wanted to bring this in. All you have to do is just drag it in. It's super easy. And then you can use these brackets to change the range. So I'm going to get rid of that. I have this silly sample. Hang on, let me change my octave. This was someone saying getting that cream and like chopping up a bunch. So this sample was only just one audio track, but since we have it either in simpler or sampler, we can play it on any key. Power key too. I want a martini with ice. Martin Crockett, tea and lunch. That sounds so so proper. Sorry the internet is a little whack today, you guys. I'm in a new space. I'm going to be back at my studio next week. But I've been finding rooms at the power station to go into this week. All right, here's the other one that you guys already know. And then this like atmospheric-y one. So all of them together. And maybe you say this vocal phrase is a bit much. We could drag it all the way up here. And then only have, well, I mean, I have a small keyboard. So one thing that can happen with this is you got to be really careful to tune samples because you can end up with just like a mess of different keys. That's going on a little bit with these because this it kind of works, but it has a lot of overtones, so I would be really careful about adding any other harmonic element in. But that's cool. That sounds like Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or something. Hedwig, come back. Yeah, that's kind of fun. All right, cool. So zones and sampler, try that. It's super fun. I'll show you guys some more stuff about sampler next time. But yeah, let's go over everything we did. And then you guys do some of these, if you will. And send them to me. Yeah, housewarming. It's crunchy. It's crunchy and jazzy. It's really, really difficult to use samples that are both chordal instruments. I try to just use one chordal and then use melodies that I can tune. Okay, so the first thing we did was we did just a sample from scratch, and we used an auto filter. We used the pencil tool because it snaps to the grid. And then to make these ramps, it was like that. We just clicked it, and then we looped this. Super fun. Then we did simpler with Arpeggiator. And then we just went down a crazy rabbit hole. Sorry, guys, I lost you. And we can't see it because we froze and flattened it, which is another way you can make an audio track. Did some automation there. Then we did some work with drum fills, splicing them to a drum rack. And you can splice with warp markers, with MIDI, with transients, or with the duration of a note. Why is this not playing? Oh, and then that turned into this. And the way we did that was changing all these rhythms down here. I think that might be my favorite thing to do. And then for the piece de resistance, I showed you some field recordings and making a beat with those, then processing that beat in different ways, one with repitch and one with beats, so with different algorithms. And then then we just went cray. Then we automated some phase and some delay. So this kind of stuff I think can be a cool complement to electronic VSTs. Well, I guess they would be electronic if they're VSTs, because it just brings a little bit more like breath, humanness, super creative energy into a piece. It's something no one else has put in their song because you've made it from scratch. And it kind of future-proofs your song in a way to try to make as many of your own risers and effects as you can, because you can't get that on Splice right now. You're creating it. All these sounds you're hearing right now that are being reused will sound kind of dated in 10 years. But if you're making your own stuff, it lasts forever. William Mind Readers, I want to see what you're doing. That sounds super fun. Yeah, guys, this was awesome. Thank you for joining the ride. Oh, and I have an answer for you, Martin Crockett. I've just decided you're English. Yes, the NYC courses are in person, but you can also do them online. And they got this great new space. Well, guys, it was fabulous to see you. Free tax. Go finish your lunch. Simple Sam. Have another burrito. Powell K2. You have some more martinis with ice. You're having the most fun out of all of us. And you guys are the best. I'll see you next Monday. And tune in for Tetro Talks tomorrow.
We got lost in California, almost crashed into the garden. Couldn't help from laughing.